Good morning, 11th graders, gentlemen. Mm, how are things going with you? Hope you're doing well at home and enjoying our distant learning lessons. In today's lesson, we're going to study the subheading I am a Japanese American. I would like to remind you that the genre of this reading selection is an essay and it's written by a Japanese writer Kisaya Noda. In this essay, Kisaya Noda is investigating her identity. She tries to figure out what identity does she have. In the first subheading, we studied that. As she said, I am racially Japanese. And she was happy with her Japanese identity. And also we mentioned how she was involved together with her family in the culture and the traditions of the Japanese life. And she expressed her happiness about this. She did not neglect or ignore or deny it. In this part also she's going to give indications how she's American or a Japanese American. Now she needs to add the part that she's American too. Reading the first part of this selection, I will read it loudly for you until line 91 and then discuss it together. Weak, I hear the voice from my childhood years. Passive, I hear. Our parents and grandparents were the ones who were put into those camps. They went without resistance. They offered cooperation as proof of loyalty to America. Victim, I hear, and silent. Our parents are painted as hard workers who were socially uncomfortable and had difficulty expressing even the smallest opinion. Clean, quiet, motivated, and determined to match the American way. That is us. And that is the story of our time here. Why did you go into those camps? I raged at my parents, frightened by my own inner silence and timidity. Why didn't you do anything to resist? Why didn't you name it the justice it was? Couldn't our parents even think? Couldn't they? Why were we so passive? Okay, let's consider the structure of this part. Look at the first one, weak. What structure is this? I'll give you choices. Do you think it's a sentence? No. So it must be a fragment. Yes, it is. But does it tell an idea? Yes. It summarizes and emphasizes. Yes. It makes the idea clear. Weak. Talking about her parents or her grandparents. This is the voice inside here. And then passive, I hear. Again, simple sentence. Passive, I hear. Our parents and grandparents were the ones who were put into these camps. Now she's talking about her parents and her grandparents and describes them as weak and passive. Further, she said they were victim and silent. So, I want you to consider the structure here. She uses simple sentences. I hear the voice from my childhood years. She uses fragments. Weak. And silent. Still fragment. If you look at these words, weak, passive, silent, victim. Okay. And move to the third paragraph, starting, why did you go into those camps? You will find words like passive again, repetition. The author used the technique to emphasize the idea and used the word injustice. And you can add the word silence, timidity. What is common between the words used in the first paragraph and the words used in the third paragraph? Yes, both are passive words. They are negative. She does not see her parents and grandparents in a positive way. She thinks that they lacked lots of good things. However, if you consider the second paragraph, clean, quiet, motivated, and determined. What about these adjectives? Yes, they are positive adjectives. So here, do you remember the way we said Noda uses to organize her ideas? Before we mentioned that authors can use different techniques to organize your ideas. They can use compare and contrast, also chronological order, and also classification. And this is the technique she uses. Yes, I think here she again connects to the idea of classification. In the first paragraph, she uses passive words to describe the family together. In the second paragraph, she uses positive ones also to describe them. Weak, passive, victim, silent. Again, clean, quiet, motivated, and determined. I want you to know that she uses simple sentences here. Simple sentences as well as fragments to convey her messages. So, let's consider the questions here based on this part. Lines 80 to 92. Read the subheading, I am a Japanese American, and section's first three paragraphs. How does the beginning of this section fit the author's classification pattern? Again, Noda groups the shared characteristics, shared, okay? Shared characteristics she attributed to her Japanese American family member. When she, groups, she uses classification. Question 2. What word does Noda associate with being Japanese American? She used the whole list. She uses weak, passive, victim, silent, hard workers, socially comfortable, clean, quiet, motivated, and determined. Third question. How are the words in the first and third paragraphs different than those in the second paragraph? I already answered the question. The first and third paragraphs are negative, whereas the second is mostly positive. Yes. Back to the text. Then she gives us a story when she went to visit one of her cousins in his farm. And she gives the situation that her uncle had lots of laborers doing the job at his farm and a kind of tractors here and there, and it happened that by her car she by accident blocked the road. She was driving her car while she caused a kind of jam. The tractors of her uncles did not go well. We can read together this part. The workers stand loosely grouped and at ease, but my uncle looks as hurried and tense as police officer trying to unsnarl a New York City traffic jam. Driving toward the shed, I pull my car off the road. Why? To make way for the approaching tractor. Now she's doing good thing. The front wheels of the car sink luxuriously into the soft white sand by the roadside, and the car slides to a dreamy halt, stops. Tail still on the road, I try to move forward. I try to move back. Now, first, she did something not on purpose. She was doing something good. She tried to give way to the tractors. Again, she tried to make as she could, trying to move forward by car, to move back. The front bits contentedly into the sand. The back left itself in a jaunty angle. My uncle sees me and storms down the road. See the reaction of her uncle, running. He is shouting before he is even near me. What's the matter with you? He screams. What the hell are you doing? In his frenzy, he grabs his hat off his head and shears it through the air across the knees. He is beside himself. Don't you know how to drive in sand? What's the matter with you? You've blocked the whole road. Now again, The uncle is unhappy. He's shouting at her. He thinking that she blocked the whole roadway. How am supposed to get the tractors off here now? Can't you see your head? You've cut off the whole roadway and we've got to get out of here. This is her uncle's reaction. Furious, angry at her. Though it looks like she did nothing wrong. What do you guess her reaction is? Let's proceed. I stand on the road before him, helplessly thinking, no, I don't know how to drive in sand. I never driven in sand. That's her reaction. She was true about what she did. Now her uncle should be ashamed. He didn't. And she added, I'm sorry, uncle, I say. She withdrew. She submitted. She did something wrong. However, she apologized to her uncle. I'm sorry, uncle, I say. Pouring a smile, even she tried to smile to him. Beneath a look of sincere apology, I noticed my deep amusement and my affection for him with great curiosity. What I'm doing? Why I'm showing love to this man who is shouting at me? I'm usually devastated by anger. Not this time. Anger makes me down, makes me fall down. However, this time I hold myself in front of my uncle and I even apologize to him. Apologize. She did nothing wrong. However, she apologized. Do we compare something here? Yes, exactly. We compare her situation to her uncle with the situation of her grandparents and parents at the time of the war. They apologized to the American society. They willingly agreed to go to the internment. They agreed to go to the campus to give way to the society. To give way to the society to focus on the war. She did the same, comparing her situation now with her uncle, with the situation of her grandparents at the time of the war. She did the same. She gave way to her uncle's anger, and her grandparents back gave way to the American anger, and they accepted to go to the internments, to the camps, a kind of cooperation to the society. Yes, the same situation. It's a kind of comparison here. Okay, we'll stop here and complete later, inshallah. Thank you.